Hey, it's the podcast.
Awesome possum.
Yes.
Glad to be back.
Yeah, it's been a little bit, right?
Yeah, a little. What was our last podcast? Like, ooh, late September, maybe very early October.
I think so. I
So
know we skipped last week because I was on VR on the lot, which I'll talk about in a second.
That's right.
But we do bi-weekly, so every other week.
Right.
So, but went to basically LA to go to Paramount Studios because they were having a VR an event for inviting a bunch of developers, and it was basically like a conference kind of thing of
like business oriented.
Yeah, more business oriented. There was demos and stuff, but it was more people actually in industry and more the Hollywood people that are getting into VR because VR is kind of booming right now, and everyone's kind of scratching their heads because they don't really know
what to do with it yet, right?
Yeah, the best way I could kind of think of it is like, it's like the early days of like film when you're like you kind of know it's a good technology, but you don't know what to do with it or how to use it properly and stuff. With film, we've had like 100 years almost of because it started like in the 1920s.
Okay, yeah, sure. Like
So,
Hollywood in the mainstream, yeah.
I know the invention of the camera was early like 1900s, maybe late 1800s, I think.
Yeah.
Something around there. But like the actual like Hollywood and using it as like a narrative thing that didn't really start until like the 20s and stuff. So we've had like a good 100 years of like history and experience, but now we're going back to like one page of a book and like,
right.
Here's what we got. And I knew a little bit about VR and stuff. Like I dabbled, like I made like a little tech thing and stuff, and it worked. It was very basic. It was just like I stood inside of a cube that had like pictures on the wall, and that was it. So that's as far experimentation as I gotten, and I kind of been watching videos and stuff ever since. What was it? The Oculus Kickstarter.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was, so I've been kind of following it. I really wish I did the initial investment of that and got like the little tech demo because I feel like the little tech device it's gonna be like really cool in like a couple years from now. It's like that.
Yeah, that's true. It'll be interesting to see what people come up with when they're given like a couple years time.
Yeah.
See what developers can figure out, like, how to really take advantage of VR.
I mean, I have seen like a few like news posts and stuff that like VR is kind of like coming to a crawl now. Like not many people are buying anymore.
Sort of. I mean, it's still like this novel thing.
Yeah.
So
there's a high entry point.
There's interest like at launch, but those are your early adopters, and everybody else is very tepid. Like they just don't know much about it yet. So it's interesting. I feel like VR is breaking ground in video games, but the real application for VR will be like maybe in something else, in like more general entertainment, I think. Like instead of like traveling like to Paris, you just put on your VR headset and you can virtually explore Paris or something like that.
Yeah, they were using like different terms at the conference. Like it was it wasn't a movie, it was an experience.
Yeah.
Or a 360 video was like another one that was expected, but like no.
Yeah, 360 videos are already up on YouTube and stuff. So
yeah, and there's like cameras and stuff, but it's like the technology is not quite there yet because we've always been used to a frame window
one
experience
angle.
that you kind of cut together and stuff. But even like the slightest movement of that camera, you suddenly get like really nauseous when you're viewing it. So the kind of key is to kind of do like slow movements, but then you can't really do anything exciting like action oriented or anything.
Interesting.
So, but then, and then also it's like, like what people are trying to figure out is like, do you want to be like a passive viewer or do you want to be a character that they're interacting with, and like what's like the best way to do that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's something to take into account for sure. Yeah. Did they talk at all about like introducing VR headsets to like movie theaters?
They Actually, there was like one panel that was kind of interesting. They were talking about like what do you do with it outside the house. Like they in China, there's quite a few movie theaters now that are currently open that have VR headsets that everyone in the audience has, and then they just sit in the theater, and then the surround sound is their headphones in a sense.
Interesting.
There are a few theaters coming out here, but they're still being built.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. There's actually there's a few people I was talking to that I'm gonna try seeing if I could do some kind of internship with them. Is they're starting like a VR arcade kind of thing.
Huh.
So instead of like,
that's interesting.
So they're gonna have like special games built for that.
Yeah.
Like Starbreeze was like the big one that I kind of focused on because those are the guys who did Payday.
Okay. Yeah.
Those guys, and they really wanted to do like they have like the example they had was like they had a zombie game, but instead of like the Vive controllers and stuff, they wanted like the controller to be an actual shotgun that you actually have to pump and then like shoot, and it has kickback and everything.
Huh.
But then they like the Vive, but they're building like their own unit, which it has like bigger field of view, and they're partnering with IMAX, so the screen quality is even bigger and like better.
Huh.
But it's better, but it's probably a lot more expensive, so you probably can't afford it at the home.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And that's kind of where I'm thinking VR is probably going to go, is more the arcade. And that's kind of how video games started in a sense, was they started as these really expensive machines and stuff that you couldn't have at the home quite yet. And then over time, technology improved, and then now you can have just a better experience at home versus the arcade.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So
I think a big step for that would be to make the headsets like wireless. Like, so you could really move around like a whole big like warehouse.
Yeah.
You could like set up.
Well, there is a company that's called The Void, which they do VR mazes and stuff.
Yeah, there you go. That would be kind of neat.
But it's like really cool. They also like do a lot of practical effects and stuff. Like they have strings that hang down and they act as spider webs when you walk through it. In the game, it's spider webs. And then they had like a thing, which is like in the game, it's this giant alien tube, but you touch this touchpad and it opens up the other thing. And then like as the tube opens up, it there's like this mist that comes off it. In real life, it's a particle board next to a bunch of air jets. So when it opens up, it just sprays you, kind of thing. But
that's interesting.
But definitely like happens. But it's like
that's
that,
cool.
Kind of like that environment kind of thing. And the way that works is you wear a backpack that's basically a computer that like then Wi-Fi's into like a mainframe kind of thing. Even then, it's like kind of little but it's still a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
I really want to get into like VR where I can merge my practical effects with the virtual thing, and like see like how far I could push that.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. I
think that would be pretty cool.
But you kind of need like a lot of space for that to kind of experiment and see what works.
Yeah,
what
it
doesn't.
would be a major investment for sure because like you said, you need lots of space to really experiment that way.
Yeah. So I guess we never did our intro. I am Surferdude.
I'm Matt.
Yes. We are still playing with our cameras and stuff, so we're only doing the one camera, but I figured it wouldn't be too much of an issue since it is just the two of us.
Right. Yeah.
I mean we do have Fluffs here in spirit.
In spirit.
In
spirit animal.
Yeah, spirit animal idol thing. But yeah, everyone was kind of busy and stuff. I've been busy.
It's the way it goes sometimes.
I have been. I went to the VR experience. I guess it was last Friday, and I've been running ever since then, like nonstop everywhere, kind of doing things. It's been crazy. There was actually a story to it. It's like a lot of has happened. So basically, I went to the VR experience, but I went with. Trying to figure out. I can't talk about it all because I'm not sure what I could say and stuff. So I'm trying to say it in a way without getting anyone in trouble.
Stay vague.
Yeah. So let's just say I went with a buddy. Okay. I was passing him by in the hall, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to this thing. You want to come check it out, kind of thing. And he's like, oh yeah, that's actually up our alley and stuff. Let's just say he's a teacher. Okay, like a film teacher kind of thing. So he's kind of like, yeah, we're going to be experimenting it in our classrooms the next couple terms, stuff. So I'm kind of interested in kind of learning about it and stuff. So it was kind of good with that because the whole VR experience is like these really, older generation kind of thing. So I was like the only like college kid there. I mean, I think they were hoping for more college people, but the ticket prices were kind of pricey.
Yeah.
So I quickly became known as the college kid.
The college kid.
Yeah.
What's the college kid think about this?
I mean, they were all really friendly, and I hit everyone up for like an internship to see what happened.
Yeah, why not? Cool.
And since I was the only one there, I didn't have much competition.
Yeah.
But at the same time, people were talking about jobs and stuff. At the same time, so there was a little bit of conflicting with that, but yeah, it's a good networking experience. I didn't go crazy because my the film teacher, he was more trying to do that. He was doing that anyway, kind of getting connections for the school and stuff.
Oh, I see.
So I didn't do as much networking as I usually do, kind of thing. But anyway, so we did that. That was 2 days. I actually stayed in LA at this hotel. It was a little bit sketchy at first, but then when I got locked in and stuff, it was fine. But the room was actually surprisingly nice for how cheap it was.
That's cool. Like a motel?
Yeah, it was a motel. Like, it kind of showed its age. It was there for a while. But it was clean. That was good. It was very clean, actually, surprisingly clean.
That is good.
So, but, there was, like paint fading here and there.
Yeah.
So, it had its age. But that was interesting, staying in Hollywood, like, in the middle of the city. It's actually surprisingly quiet at night.
Huh.
I was expecting New York noise.
Bunch of weird stuff going on. Weird people out and about.
That and just like sirens going off all the time.
Sure,
yeah. Like, have you ever been to like Hollywood, like Hollywood Street?
No, not really. I've been like downtown LA.
Okay.
Like Staples.
So you kind of know
Center,
it's like it's hustle and bustle city.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So it was kind of weird. Like at like midnight was. There was some noise, but not as loud. But then I woke up at like 5 a.m. because the conference was like at 8.
Oh.
So I had to get ready, check out, get over there.
Yeah.
Parking sucked.
Yeah.
Always. But yeah. But like at 5 or 8 a.m. it's like nothing. Nothing was going on. The first sound I heard in the morning was the dump truck because I was near the dumpster, but not too close. So, yeah. So. Anyway, I did the whole VR thing, and then I come home and I'm like that tired and stuff. And then I do homework and stuff, get caught up and stuff. Don't get all the way done because there's not enough time.
Yeah.
But then like on Sunday, I did get a job at a cafe as a hostess, the host person, seeing them to the table, stuff. So I met with them Sunday. This might seem a little bit out of the way of the story, but it plays in later on.
It's a VR cafe. No.
I wish. That would be a lot more interesting than what it is now. But so I did that, so I did the paperwork. I'm officially hired under them.
Cool.
Stuff. And they say, okay, well, the guy that's doing your scheduling is, wasn't the person I met. So the person that does that, he said he will call me and kind of coordinate me and tell me when my training day is, my schedule and stuff. All right. So, let's see. It was like Tuesday that I go and meet with my film teacher because I took my audio recorder, so I recorded all the conferences and stuff, so to take notes.
Yeah.
So I was giving him all the files I had and stuff, and I also happened to get an internship at a effects shop kind of thing, so I was going to go and stop by there to kind of check it out, see, kind of see where it is, meet the guy, kind of coordinate with that. So I was going to drop the files off, we'll hopefully talk VR for a little bit, 20 minutes or so, and then I'll head over to the effects shop, which is, go 20 or 30 minutes away from where I'm at. But as we're talking, we kind of go back and forth, and he's like, I do know this guy that he's him and his company is, they're getting into VR too, but they don't really know what's going on, but it seems like you do. So I'm going to refer you to him, and he was actually there at the time, just happenstance,
nice.
Just coincidentally. And so we're talking and stuff, and he's like, yeah, we don't really know much going on, but we are part of like kind of like the education part of it. It's like company slash education thing.
Okay.
So it's like, again, I can't really talk about it too much because it's part education stuff. Let's just leave it at that. It's part of the education. Let's say that. So I would be basically a lab tech, kind of thing. And it happens to pay more than the current cafe job, and then also it's in my field kind of thing. So it's good that way. So as we're talking, he's like, yeah, if you get part of this program thing with that the college usually runs, it's like it's people that come from like another country or they're low on funds, financially kind of thing. If you get part in that, then it'll be easy just to hire you that way kind of thing. Because it's a lot more paperwork going in just as a part-timer versus this, after like a couple years of working the financial kind of thing, then we could do it. It's not, they're not trying to run a scam or anything. It's easier this way than the other way, which would take a couple years to get going. Okay. If that makes sense. So anyway, we're going through, and he's like, yeah, if you get through that, I'll hire you in a heartbeat. And I'm like, kind of perk up like, wait, what? Because when someone says that about a job, you stop what you're doing and to go do that.
Yeah, it sounds like a cool opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. So my 20-minute job, or stop by, turned into 2.5 hours of running around town for paperwork.
Yeah, great.
Getting that thing. So my long tour at the FX shop turned into, eventually after doing all the paperwork and stuff, I eventually got to the FX shop through very horrible traffic. I left at the worst time.
That's too bad.
So I got there, and the guy I was supposed to meet was gone. So, but it just happened that the guy that one of his like employees was there. So eventually, luckily I was able to get like a quick tour before he left, kind of thing.
Cool.
So at least got that done, and I went back the next day and met with the actual guy I was supposed to meet, kind of thing. But during like all that was going on, I'm waiting for the paperwork to go through. The guy was telling me if I could get into the program or not. So then if I do get in this kind of program, then they just click a box on their sheet, and then I just instantly go over to their thing.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, but during all this, it's like, it's now Wednesday or Thursday now. Well, I guess it was Wednesday.
Okay.
So during all of this, I still have not gotten my call from a cafe job saying when to start.
Ah, you're right. Okay.
So I'm kind of going back and forth. I'm like, kind of hurrying this along, because if I do get this job, it's really a lot better than the cafe job, which is not leading anywhere. It's just a cafe job. This is actually in the industry, especially in VR industry, and then it pays better. The hours are better. Everything's better. Let's say that. So I'm really hoping to get this, get the job before I start my first day, because I don't want to, go through like the whole training and the work, and then, the second week and say, okay, bye, because I think it would burn a few bridges there.
A little bit. Cafes probably go through employees pretty regularly, but
the only reason, but I did get the cafe job because it was like, we know the manager there, so it was kind of, I got the job through a favor.
Okay.
So there was a little bit of that going on.
Yeah.
But eventually I got a response saying, no, you've been going to college for too long, kind of thing. So now I have to go and appeal, saying, no, I'm not. Basically, the rule is if you go for like some amount of years, they kind of assume that you're kind of just hanging out there. You're not really going in the industry, and that's there. So if you do get the job through that program, you're not just hanging out and getting this really cushy job and not moving into the industry. They want to help you to move into the industry and not hang out, kind of thing. That's their goal. So in a weird way, if I do get the film job, it actually will help me graduate sooner. So with that, I think will greatly increase my chances, but I still have to appeal because, it's basically they have to look over my case and kind of decide yes or no for there. So
interesting.
So we'll see about that.
Yeah, I hope it works out.
Yeah. Still today, and the cafe job, they're busy on the weekends and stuff. And even now, I still not gotten that call. So I don't really know what's going on with my cafe job.
Yeah, that's weird.
So, but I'm guessing, they said the appeal process is going to take a couple weeks. So it seems like I'm probably going to do the cafe job. And then in the next couple weeks to a month, maybe I'll probably transfer over. So we'll see. And then during all that, I have like my essay and stuff, homework and stuff. So
yeah,
I'm not too complaining about not working just yet.
Yeah.
So because I'm enjoying the free time while I have it.
Right.
So that's what I've been up to for the last week.
Wow. Yeah, running around.
Yeah.
But that's cool. I mean, this exciting stuff is on the horizon potentially. So
yeah,
it's worth it.
It's definitely going on, and I'm still trying to get Podcade going and stuff. So that's like another job in itself.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely the way that if I do get the film job, it kind of helps everything else, including Podcade and stuff. So definitely knock on wood.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Yeah. But Matt, what have you been up to?
Nothing too exciting. Pretty much same old, going through classes right now. Been pretty busy actually with schoolwork. It's been weird because a few of my professors have kind of like changed their schedules around. So now everything's kind of getting pushed and compressed into like the next week, in terms of midterms and essays.
Oh, they're just changing like the times are the same, but they're in terms of what's happening that week is changing.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, my sister had that. It was like for like one term. It was like, they had like 2 or 3 weeks, or they had projects for 2 or 3 weeks planned out. They're like, yeah, we're not gonna make it in time at the current place, so we're just gonna move everything back 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And do like 2 or 3 projects all at one time instead of one.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's been that. I know my place is getting renovated pretty soon.
Fine.
But that'll be like I think I have a like 6 to 8 week renovation, so pretty substantial. So we'll see how my living conditions change while I have those guys doing work on the house.
Are you getting a bigger room?
Potentially.
Are you getting like solid gold toilet or some kind of Richie?
There will be new toilets.
Okay.
I'm not gonna make them solid gold, but there will be new toilets. So
TVs in every room and every ceiling.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
A VR room.
A VR room. I could make one a VR room potentially.
Yeah.
That would be pretty neat. And yeah, I have to start moving furniture and stuff out this weekend.
No.
Which is kind of a pain because I want to go to the Huntington Beach Air Show this weekend, which would be super cool to go to, but I may not be able to fit it into the schedule. And I do still need to do the raid for Destiny this week.
Yeah.
So I have to make time for that.
I
don't know if I'll get to it.
I haven't touched Destiny in like 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
I probably should.
I try to do like the bounties when I can. When I have like 15 or 30 minutes, like I'll just I'll do like some of the Crucible bounties or the Vanguard bounties real quick if I can. And sometimes I get like some good loot out of there, and I seem to progress fairly rapidly, like through the vendor's reputation system.
Yeah, usually I wake up at like early in the morning and then I'm gone most of the day, at least the last couple weeks, running around doing paperwork and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I get home, it's like 6 or 7 p.m. and then I still have homework and then I'm dead, so I go to bed and that's it.
Yeah.
Adult life.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. I mean, you have to do what you need to do before you can do what you want to do.
Valerie Hill says hi.
What up, Valerie Hill?
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in.
But I guess they're going to sleep. So, see ya.
Don't do it. Stay up.
Stay with us. It's not that late.
It's not, but he may be on like the East Coast.
It could be. It's like 3 hours ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. But speaking of Destiny, the Festival of the Lost has just started.
Oh, has it? I haven't logged in since.
Yeah. They just started today, I think.
Oh, cool. I'll check it out. Hopefully.
I think it was today. Usually it starts like Tuesday.
Right. Yeah, with the updates.
Did you ever do the first time?
I think I did. I remember something going on.
It was like all spooky, and then you got like masks you
Yeah,
could wear.
I remember like everybody putting on like the pumpkin head
Well, that was
helmets or whatever.
well, that
it
was year like one. They didn't. It was just like a thing that you got, like a consumable. But
Yeah.
then they did like a full on like festival.
Oh, I
like-
wasn't there for that then.
Yeah, the festival. Do you ever play World of Warcraft or seen like their events?
No.
Okay, so they
But,
basically like the towers like has like a bunch of cobwebs and like lanterns and candles and
Right.
all
That's
around.
cool.
So they can't really decorate the whole thing. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm wondering what they're doing this year in terms of it.
yeah, I don't know. I know Overwatch is doing some pretty big stuff for Halloween.
Overwatch, I am actually more excited for in terms of a Halloween update because they're doing a PvE combat mission.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Sort
of like a horde mode, like
I mean,
wave-based type
Yeah,
thing.
I'm
Cooperative rather than PvP.
Yeah, in terms of Halo, I like Firefight a lot more than like the multiplayer.
Oh,
I
really?
played a
Okay.
lot of Firefight.
Yeah, Firefight was fun.
Yeah, so I haven't gone into Overwatch just yet, but I really hope that they, after the Halloween update, they still have like that game mode kicking around like as like something. I mean like Team Fortress 2, like at one point they released a like against Rise of Machines or something, where like basically they have robot versions of all the Fortress guys, and then it's kind of the same thing. It's like wave based combat kind of thing. But I think with the combat system they have in Overwatch, I think it'll be tons of fun, especially like a group of friends or something. I think it's like 4 players.
Yeah,
I think it's 4 or
that,
6.
that would make sense.
I mean, in multiplayer, it's 6. I want to say it's 4, but I'm not sure. Like I said, I haven't done it. Have you checked out any of their skins for Halloween?
I know they're doing different skins. I think I saw like a short trailer for it.
Yeah,
Like Mercy is like a witch now, sort of.
yeah, she's a witch. We have Junkenstein, which is Junkrat. He's like the scientist, and then he's got Roadhog as like the Junkenstein's monster.
Huh, that's funny.
Yeah, so it's like all kind of themed like that. And then there's like consumable, like emotes and skins and all sorts of stuff. So funness.
Yeah, that's cool for Overwatch players. That's
Yeah.
neat.
In terms of Halloween, I don't think we have any more stories in terms of that. Yeah. Speaking of VR,
VR.
yeah, we have
This is a hot topic.
yeah. So we had PlayStation VR come out recently.
Yeah, October 13th.
You didn't get it, did you?
No, I'm going to hold off on the VR stuff for the time being. It's still a pretty sizable investment, I think, to be like such an early adopter, at least for me with
Well, it's like-
PlayStation VR.
The PlayStation VR, I know it's $400 for the base model, but then you get a bundle for $500, which comes with the move controller and the camera.
Yeah, the Move controllers and the camera, right?
Right. I don't have the camera app, but I do have the Move controller. And
I think you need 2 Move controllers.
I have
You-
both.
Oh, you have 2. That's good.
I got the gun from the PlayStation Move era.
Okay, I don't know if that's going to work. I know they're
They said that
making a new one.
yeah, they're making a new one. They said some developers are going to try to use it, but I don't think all are going to use it. So, but I think the new gun that we kind of saw, what was it, the GameStop?
At the game, yeah, with the Farpoint.
Yeah, Farpoint. I think more people are going to use that. I don't think PlayStation is making that gun, is it? Or is Farpoint developers making that gun?
I don't think so. I would assume it's probably a Sony first party thing.
Okay, so if Sony makes it, then I could see other people using it because it's basically an accessory for PlayStation VR.
Right.
But if the developer is the one that's making it, I don't see other people
Right. Yeah.
taking on.
We'll see. VR makes sense for like light gun games. It makes a lot of sense.
Well, that was my big problem with
like you could do Time Crisis in VR. That'd be pretty cool.
yeah, like they had like the gun I mentioned, like you could use that with Killzone, and it worked, but you had like tunnel vision because the TV was just a little tiny frame.
Right.
You had to keep aiming or turning with the controller or aim to the side of the screen and slowly turn, and it was just terrible. But now you got VR, you can look around independently from the gun. It makes more sense, and it's probably a lot better
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah, we'll see how it does. I think PlayStation VR will probably sell better than Oculus or Vive, but hopefully it's sort of a situation where the rising tide raises all ships, and VR as a whole, the whole industry does better.
Yeah.
I remember reading like some market research firms were predicting that the PSVR would sell over 2 million units by the end of this year. So just like October, November, and December, which I thought was very optimistic.
Yeah.
There's over 40 million PS4s out there now. But I'm not sure how many people are going to choose to invest in PSVR over like the PS4 Pro, or just not upgrading at all into anything.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of PS4s. That's currently the kind of go-to console during this generation. So,
Yeah.
PSVR has like the biggest. It has everything kind of right for people to kind of get into VR. I feel like. I mean, everyone has a mobile phone, so there is that. Google Cardboard is not that expensive. It's like $24.
And Google's coming out with their own VR headset, the Daydream.
Yeah, it's like a cloth version of the cardboard. So
yeah,
it's
like
a little
an
bit
$80. So it's a rival to what the Samsung Gear would be, the VR headset.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, the Samsung Gear VR actually has like a little controller and then like a little sensor that you could tap on the side. I don't know if like Google Cloth thing has anything. I think it's just.
Yeah, I don't know about control wise, but just like in terms of price point and that they need a phone to work.
Yeah.
They're
I know the Google thing is more open. Like you can use iPhones and other products.
You will be able to eventually, I think they said. I know initially it only supports the Pixel and the Pixel Plus or whatever they're calling it.
Okay. I mean, at the conference, the market that everyone was supposed to target are mobile phones because that's the industry that most people are going to
And
try
it's got
VR.
the largest, user base for sure.
Yeah. Personally, I think in terms of gamers getting into VR, I think the PS4, PSVR is kind of the one that's people are more going to go into.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be.
I mean, I think the PC gamers, I think they're going to slowly drift either to the Oculus or the Vive. I think a lot of people are waiting for, in terms of Oculus, like if people wanted the Oculus, I think they're waiting for the touch controllers, which are $200 that they finally came out. That puts it basically with the Vive.
Right.
So there's not, and if you're going to go into VR, you really need like this controller, a touch controller or some kind of controller.
Yeah.
Because if you just get the Oculus just by itself, you're kind of missing out on a lot of good experiences and stuff.
Sure.
So, and I hear, so in terms of tracking, the PS Move controllers, they're not the best.
Oh, it's old technology at this point,
Yeah, it's definitely.
Well, like 2008, 2009 when Move came out?
I think it was.
So, yeah, I mean...
It's really just like, it's tracking a light. It's not tracking like IF sensors or anything that like the Vive or Oculus are.
Right.
So, it's definitely, but the price is low enough that I feel like since most people have a PS4, I feel like just adding an extra $400 attachment probably not too bad.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I mean, when the PSVR first came out just a couple weeks ago now, or not even, like the critics were liking it. They said it's a solid piece of hardware. It's not like as accurate in terms of tracking as Oculus or Vive, but it does get the job done.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a matter of, I think, for VR as a whole, of creating more than just the experiences that they have right now. They need a killer app. They really need something that gets widespread attention for being something that you need to do if you like games.
Yeah,
you know?
I think the experiences are still gonna stick around. I think that's gonna be like the new like walking simulator that we have for video games. Like, I think experiences are gonna branch out into their own thing, but I think the reason why everything's kind of slowing down or something is because everything's developing now.
Yeah.
Now that all the system, everything has now come out, and we kind of know, okay, this is what it is. Now what can we do with it and start developing for it. Game development takes time, so I
Yeah.
think we're in that slump kind of thing. So I'm really interested to see what happens next E3, like what comes out. I mean, we got a little bit more VR than we did last time, or the time before that. So I think VR is just gonna keep going and just snowballing. I think it's definitely not a fad. I definitely don't see that.
I don't know. I think it deserves to be more than a fad,
Yeah.
but it's gonna be. I mean, it's up to consumers. It's up to the market to determine what's a fad and what isn't. Are people gonna buy it?
Yeah.
That's the thing. How quickly can the price point drop? How quickly will like upgraded versions of these headsets come out? That's another thing.
Yeah.
They have to be careful. You don't want to release like new hardware too soon. Certainly.
Yeah.
You really do need to focus on software. Someone has to come out with like a real, genuine, unique, like very engaging, involving, fun experience for VR to stick around in terms of the gaming world.
Yeah. I mean, there's been a few like good like I used to like games, but they're kind of tech demos that have come out, and they're good, and people you kind of stick around for like a couple hours, but after a while you're just like, okay, I'm kind of done. It's kind of like with the Wii U or the Wii kind of games like in the early days is like the tech demos and like the Wii Sports, that was a lot of fun. You play that for hours, but then afterwards it's kind of like, all right, what else is there kind of thing, and
Right.
it didn't really went into too many creative areas kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think going back to the arcade area, I think it will definitely boost it quite a bit because, like I said, not everyone has a big, huge area to devote to just VR.
Right.
In a sense.
That's true.
So I think like going into like the VR spaces or the arcades, is definitely the way to go. And especially like I've noticed kind of like a resurgence of before VR, like people wanting to go to an arcade because that's what they did like in the 80s and 90s, like when they were kids or something. But
Sure.
now that arcades have kind of died over the years, because you have like a better gaming experience at home
Yeah.
that you don't have to pay for quarters. Now I can kind of see like definitely games based around like, a timed experience that you pay for. That's kind of like a VR experience, but if you die, you have to pay more, or pay again to get back in line,
Right.
kind of thing, for another chance or something. So I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, I will see where time takes VR. I hope it's successful, but I'm not 100% confident that it will be. It's such an unknown still.
Yeah.
It's so new.
Speaking of the Wii and the whole Nintendo thing, Nintendo actually came out with a good announcement.
Yeah, they're
finally,
back at it.
finally. So Nintendo revealed the NX, also known as the Switch.
Now the Switch. Yes. Nintendo Switch.
What do you think of the name just by itself?
I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Switch between, TV and handheld. That makes sense.
Yeah,
And the logo is very cool.
It's
and
not
simple.
the Wii. It's not the Wii U 2.
Yeah. That's yep. It is an improvement over Wii U.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Though still, Wii U's best game ever. Wii Fit U.
Wii Fit U.
Still best game ever. But yeah, the Switch came out, and it's basically kind of all the rumors we had so far of like that leaked,
Rumors
patents
were,
and stuff.
Yeah. Quite accurate.
So it's a kind of like tablet that you plug into a TV in a stand, and you play it that way. But if you want to go somewhere and you could take it with you by sliding the controller apart and attaching to the screen, and it's basically kind of like a Wii U pad. I think it's a little bit bigger than a Wii U pad because
as far as tablets go, it's very small. But I think you're right. It's probably a little bit bigger than the Wii U gamepad. And
it's thinner than the Wii U gamepad in terms of screen thickness, but in terms of like length and width.
The trailer certainly made the hardware look look very
I
nice.
smacked Fluffs by
Smacked
accident.
him. Oh no, he's going down. But the trailer made the hardware look pretty nice. Like it
Yeah.
didn't look sort of like that classic Nintendo sort of plasticky, cheap feeling. It looked
Yeah.
sort of like
Well, you're talking about
professional.
You're talking about just the controllers and stuff, right?
The whole thing I thought looked
The
really nice.
screen-
Black is certainly a good color choice,
Yeah.
and like it's sort of a flat black. It's not.
I'm not sure about the screen resolution because I think a lot of that was video just painted on.
Oh, you think so? Okay.
That's common with these kinds of trailers.
Yeah, I kind of got that feeling too when they showed like the Skyrim remastered stuff. I was like, that's gonna be on the NX?
Well, yeah, the Skyrim
We still don't know. Whether
in
it's
terms of
actually gonna be on
today,
there, but
Bethesda came out and said we haven't confirmed yet if it's
Right.
going to be on there.
which is
So
a weird thing to say.
we'll see, kind of
Yeah.
thing. I mean, it'll be cool. I mean, that was a big problem with like the Wii U and
Certainly.
the Wii. It was third-party support.
No third-party support. Yeah,
I'm still a little bit worried because
me too.
if basically in terms of like what it's capable of, I mean, if it's still basically less power than the current consoles of the Xbox One and PS4, no one's really going to develop for it. I feel like
It's gonna be hard to get people to develop for it. Yeah.
because it really needs to be on par with the other ones, which as a mobile gaming thing, I'm not sure.
Can do it. Yeah.
I mean, there are things out there already that could do it, like I forget what it is, but it's like a little controller that's handheld, and you have a little screen for it. It's but it's like
Mm-hmm.
it was like if you were in your house and you want to play on the couch, you stream it from your PC.
Oh, interesting.
So
okay.
that way, so it's like that kind of way. So there are things like that are out there, but in terms of like taking the whole console with
Yeah.
you, I'm not sure.
Because all the processing power has to be in the handheld.
Well,
portion,
yeah. Well, they did some new details came out today that basically everything is in that pad, and when you hook it in the dock, it's
The dock is just transferring the signal to the.
yeah, it's just
PC.
transferring the video signal to I guess 1080p and 60 frames a second, and then also it's just charging it. Everything else is running in the tablet itself.
Yeah. It's interesting. I thought the trailer was really well done. It's a nice way to debut
Mm-hmm.
the Switch. Obviously, there are tons of questions to be answered. We just sort of mentioned the fact battery life is a big one.
Yeah, people are.
What's the screen resolution? Is it even a touch screen? Because in the trailer, you don't see anybody touching the screen.
Yeah, there's been like one person that is in the inside track that has confirmed that leaked
Yeah.
or brought up attention to all these things that got confirmed. So
Yeah.
she says touchscreen is there, but they didn't show it because I think they're trying to differentiate from the Wii U.
Sure.
Because that was a
Okay.
big problem from the Wii to the Wii U's was people thought it was just an attachment for the Wii. They didn't think it was a whole new console.
That was a weird thing.
So there's that.
Yeah, that's a good job. And obviously, the biggest question still left is price.
Price
We don't know.
Well, there was-
there were leaks.
prior to this
Rumors,
that was 300 and then ours said
$400 bundle.
yeah, there was a $300 and a $400
Yeah.
price point, which it's about right. It's console
Yeah.
price. I know like the Wii U was like 250 something like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the Wii U. What? I think it was 300 when it launched. But I can't be sure about that. But $300 for the Switch seems like a reasonable price. The problem is that because the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 have been out for a few years now, those prices have been discounted to $300.
yeah,
Thereabouts. For the Xbox, at least.
they haven't dipped below 300, right?
I think they're both PS4 Slim, which is now like the base PS4 model, and the Xbox One S are both $300 now.
Yeah, that's right. No, I'm thinking about the Xbox One because it jumped down two prices because it started at 500 with that Connect.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of. But yeah, so my biggest thing is battery life with everything, like technology wise, is battery life. And there's
Battery
a
life
rumor.
is big.
The rumor is 3 hours.
Mm,
The PSP, which is like one person pointed out, was like, was constantly mocked for having a very crappy battery, is more than 3 hours.
Yeah.
So it's less than the PSP, which is bad.
Hopefully the battery life is longer.
What's a good battery life for?
Oh, like 5
5
plus.
5 plus.
That's what I would hope for.
Yeah.
But I mean, if it's running at close to Xbox One, PS4 specs, then it is gonna gobble up some power pretty quick.
It's not 1080p on the tablet though,
right.
so
for that small of a screen, it doesn't have to be though. It'll still look very nice, like a 900p.
You don't have
on that little screen.
You don't have a 3DS or anything, right?
No, I know 3DS's screen is like below 480.
Yeah,
so it's bad.
But I think this is like combining the handheld gaming market with so
that's certainly their goal.
They said Pokemon is going to come on the Switch.
Yeah,
which is traditionally a mobile or a DS game. So I'm thinking they're definitely, since the whole DS thing has been big, they're basically combining with that.
Yeah.
Kind of make it a step between the console and that.
Yeah. If indeed the Pokemon game for the Switch is a traditional Pokemon game, it could still be like a stadium game or Pokemon Snap or something weird like that.
Well, do you think they're going to come out with like another DS after the Switch? Because it would be basically a very competition with themselves.
I would think so too. They'll probably come up with some marketing speak about how the DS is still part of their long-term strategy, so people don't abandon that system right away. But I've got to think, before the trailer, I was thinking a big portion of the, at least initial consumers for the Switch, will be existing like 3DS and DS owners and stuff. But the trailer, like, there's no kids in that trailer. Yeah. Everybody is in their 20s or 30s, so they're targeting a much older demographic, at least initially, than I thought they would. I mean, they're not targeting kids with this thing, which is really interesting. From the trailer alone.
Yeah.
In the trailer, they're not targeting
kids. I mean...
Which is traditionally what Nintendo does. Yeah, their IP is so centered towards kids.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess they're going for the nostalgia that 20 and 30-year-olds have about the Nintendo brand, maybe.
I don't know. I think most of the fan base now is like an older generation.
Yeah.
Already, because like when kids get into gaming or something, it's always Xbox or PS4.
Yeah.
Rarely is it Nintendo.
Right.
So, it's always like they either get an Xbox or a PS4, and then possibly and Nintendo, but it's never just Nintendo.
Right.
Because the Nintendo, they don't have a third party support, basically. Right. So that's the big thing. I'm kind of wondering, like, if they do get third party support and they are able to compete with that, Xbox One, PS4, how would they do? Because most people like the Nintendo first party games and stuff, but if they can also get Nintendo games and their usual games like Destiny,
or Battlefield 1,
Battlefield 1, and all those other games,
sure,
it would just make more sense just to get one versus two, consoles and stuff. So
it would, but will the Switch be able to run all these third party games? Probably not, especially with Scorpio and PS4 Pro coming out. I mean, the disparity is only going to get larger, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, with that...
But if obviously base PS4 and base Xbox One still have to be compatible, at least initially with the upgradable console games.
I think a lot of it...
Hopefully Nintendo won't get left in the dust too quickly,
I don't think they are. I think most games are going to still keep with this generation of things, because I don't think the Scorpio on the PS4 Pro, I don't think they're going to... There's going to be like some exclusive games for those like upgraded consoles, take full advantage of it. But I think those games are going to be like PC games as well. The ones that like turn everything up to 11,
right?
Like Star Citizen. Those ones that really go all crazy, that wouldn't be able to survive on console. But the only way to be on the console is those high tier versions.
Right.
But like Battlefield and Call of Duty and all those other big ones, I think it would make more sense to be able to run on both the high tier and mid tier consoles. So
I think so too. But I mean, that's certainly been the way that Sony and Microsoft have presented the upgradable consoles in terms of public relations and communicating to gamers what those consoles' purposes are. But with the release of the NX, I wonder if Sony and Microsoft will change their strategy and start making Scorpio and PS4 Pro exclusive games to try and force Nintendo, or try and force third parties away from Nintendo, and just kind of get rid of Nintendo as a hardware manufacturer altogether.
No, I don't think they're going to do that.
It would be tough. I mean, they'd take a big hit in terms of like consumer friendliness. But
yeah, I think
if you get rid of a major competitor, then
I don't
do it.
With Sony having so much goodwill right now, they're just trying to not rock the boat. Xbox, on the other hand, is trying to gain as much goodwill as possible. They're still recovering from the launch of Xbox One. I mean, they're starting to get over it now, but they're still miles behind Sony in terms of PS4.
Yeah.
So they're not going to try to anger the fans and stuff. And the last thing they want to do is, they spent all these, how long has this generation been going on? 4 years? 5 years?
The game's released November 20, or the console's released November 2013, correct?
Possibly.
So about 3 years.
Three or 4 years. So they spent the last 3 or 4 years. I don't think they want to just undo that. Oh, the camera turned off. We good?
Yay. Yeah, we're still here.
Okay.
The lighting changed a touch.
Okay. It might be the battery. So, but yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, personally.
Yeah, hopefully not for Nintendo. We'll see. The trailer, I mean, it got me pretty optimistic, more optimistic than I was about the NX, because I thought it was going to look like a silly, like, cheap plasticky thing.
Yeah, I think...
But I don't know. I mean, if it's going to depend on third-party support. Can they still run third-party games on it? That's going to be the big question.
Obviously, I'm going to get it because of recording-wise. Actually, I don't know how the recording's going to happen. Well, I guess I would just take the HDMI cable for the TV and just plug it in. Hopefully, it doesn't hopefully, don't have, like, production on it because Nintendo doesn't like Let's Plays and stuff.
Right.
But I don't know. But then... yeah, in terms of... I'll probably get it, but Mr. Fluff says that he's already going to get it, too.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we'll have 2 people at least. We'll see. So just because my camera shut off, I don't really know how long we have left. We're almost out of time. Real quick, we got Battlefield 1 released.
Yeah, Battlefield 1 came out.
You're excited?
I am, yeah. Hopefully I'll find some time to play it.
Yeah.
It's tough with everything else going on, not having like a ton of time for games in general, and then you've got, obviously, Destiny is kind of a time sink.
Yeah.
I still need to get through Deus Ex, Mankind Divided. I'm working on that slowly but surely, but it's taken me a long time to get through it. Great game, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Battlefield 1, getting very good reviews, too. I guess the campaign is actually quite solid and somewhat emotional, which is pretty cool to see, especially from a World War I setting.
I hear the biggest complaint is of the whole game is that the campaign chapters are not long enough.
Yeah.
They want more, which is unusual for a Battlefield game. That that people either ignore it or they play it and it's like mediocre.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I know that is a criticism, but in terms of criticisms, it's probably a pretty good one to have. Because it's like, we want more,
Personally, I think that's a good note.
We're doing something right.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it.
I can definitely see like a Battlefield 1, 2 or sequel.
1, 2.
Battlefield 1.5.
Yeah.
Especially with like all the sales and all that. I don't know. Are you excited for Call of Duty, the space game?
I'm mildly
interested
in it. I know it got terrible backlash with the original trailer, but from what I've seen through the trailers, like the story, the campaign reminds me a lot of Killzone.
Yeah,
I get real Killzone vibes from it.
I can see that.
I liked Killzone, especially Killzone 2. The opening cinematic in Killzone 2 is amazing.
I still like the internet theory of the Call of Duty game is going to keep going until it gets to Halo, and then Halo is going to keep going until it gets to Destiny.
Yeah. It's just a train.
Yeah, it's just one big connection. I mean, there's a few more things, but I think we'll save it for next time.
Should we talk about Red Dead?
Yeah, I guess we could talk about
that. Could be our last topic, maybe?
Yeah, I guess.
Because that is the other big announcement this week.
Yeah.
Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Pretty large, but almost just as large. Almost overshadowing
Yeah.
overshadowing it is Red Dead 2
Yeah.
officially announced
Yeah.
for next fall.
Yeah. I get.
I
Yeah.
hope it sticks to that release date. It'd be so
Wait,
cool.
is Rockstar, right?
Yeah, Rockstar.
I was gonna say usually they're pretty good, but with the whole GTA thing and their delays, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think GTA 5, the actual game, released on time, if I remember correctly, but online portion got delayed and came way after.
I was more thinking about the PC version of GTA.
PC, that's true.
So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Usually Rockstar is pretty good about that. They're like up there with Bethesda and stuff. When they say a deadline, usually hits it. Usually.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll probably talk about it a lot more because I think I know Necrofine is a big fan. Vlad is a big fan. I think Fluss. I don't think played it. I didn't play it. Did you play the original?
Red Dead Redemption? Yeah.
Yeah, you played that. Yeah, so I think
really good.
Yeah.
Gosh, what a story, and the ending is amazing.
I want to go back and play it, but I feel like since it will be my first time, the graphics isn't going to be great because it's only on 360. It's not PC. So the graphics is going to be like very muddy.
Yeah, Redemption. Never came to PC. It's console only.
Yeah, so it's going to be kind of dated. I feel like, and it will just kind of throw me off a little bit.
Yeah.
So
I bet it holds up okay. The world will certainly seem a bit empty, I think.
Yeah, that's
from the trailer they seem to focus on quite a bit is
Yeah.
how full the world is of everything. The towns, the detail, all the wildlife they show.
Yeah.
In that, I mean, there's like some serious like.
I mean, I really like GTA 5, and this is basically what they learned from GTA 5 and doing something that they're really interested in, like in terms of story and world building. So, no.
Yeah, I wonder what the story will be too, because it's called Red Dead Redemption 2, which makes you think sequel.
I think the name's gonna change because usually, especially because it is a prequel to Red Dead Redemption.
I don't know if it's gonna be a prequel or a sequel.
Well, I think in the
Red Dead, I thought it would be a prequel.
Well,
but
from my
Red Dead Redemption 2 makes me think sequel.
Well, from what I heard, in Red Dead Redemption, he's redeeming his crimes that he did when he was running in the pack.
Right.
You know.
A gang.
Yeah, and a lot of people picked out from the trailer and the concept art they got teased before the trailer.
Yeah, they're thinking this is him while he's in the gang.
Yeah.
Before the events of Red Dead Redemption.
And as gameplay, that is definitely more exciting than the sequel.
Maybe.
So,
but, I mean, if it's a prequel, and then it's going to suffer from the problem that all prequels have is we already know how it ends, so to speak.
No.
If it's a sequel, they've got to be very creative about how they do something now. But I'm pretty interested in it either way. It looks like it's going to be a great game, and I'm sure Red Dead Online will be something else. I mean,
do you think there's going to be an online part of it?
Oh, I bet you for sure there will be. Red Dead Online for sure.
I think
I read an article that someone had noticed that they had registered for the domain name Red Dead Online.
Well,
which, they could just be gobbling up so somebody else doesn't.
That's usually what people do.
I would guess there will be a significant online portion to the game.
Right now, I think GTA Online makes $700 million.
$700 million over the last 12 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. People love hats, I guess.
I guess.
Hats and planes and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. I've been guilty of it.
Yeah.
A little bit. Not crazy amount, but a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially, I just get the exclusive things that are only there for like a time event. Because, like the Valentine's Day Massacre, you can get a car that it's like a mobster car.
Right, okay.
You can only get for that, 2 or 3 weeks during that event. And afterwards, you have to wait till next year.
Right.
So I since I don't have too much time to play, I just get that one car.
Right.
And then that's it. But, yeah, so we're just out of time. So, Matt, thanks for coming.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yep.
Glad to be back on. That's fun.
You have your own show, podcast?
Yeah, I do. Gamers Advocate. Okay. It's a stream on Twitch. We stream Gamers Advocate live on Twitch Sunday nights at 7:30 p.m. Pacific. And it's a show where myself and a friend of mine, Kevin, we go over like the news topics in pretty good detail. of the preceding week.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
it's a pretty, if you want to get caught up like on all the news instead of like searching through the mess that is the internet by yourself.
Yeah.
And you just want like one show, just one easy show once a week.
Yeah.
And you stay up to date, then Gamer's Advocate is definitely for you. I'd certainly appreciate if anybody has the time to please check it out.
Yeah.
Just search Gamer's Advocate on Twitch, it'll pop right up.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like it, but this podcast is more entertainment based. We kind of like kick back, tell stories and stuff.
Conversational.
We do talk about news and stuff, but not as much. You guys definitely talk news. Like, it's definitely a news podcast.
Yeah, we get more in depth into like current events, and especially like on the business side.
Yeah,
and the legal side too. I actually delve into.
Yeah. But this has been our podcast here on Podcade.com. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, where you can check out our latest Let's Plays and our podcasts. We also stream here on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/Podcade. We stream every other week. I would check our schedule that's on the Twitch channel. But in the meantime, I am Surferdude.
And I'm Matt.
And we'll see you next time.
Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.